Last week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways, we went to Prairie Home Conservation Area and we fixed breakfast pizza. This week we tour more of this wonderful conservation area and we take in the sights around the conservation area. And we cook us up a wonderful classic family favorite. Lasagna. Stick around.
I think they're done, hon. Let's see. This is the only bulk toilet they have at the conservation area. Nice concrete pad, so it's handicap accessible. Pretty nice. Yep, no swimming here though. That's what Angel just said. But here is the handicap accessible dock. In memory of, here it is, in memory of Alan and Wilma Johnson. This was 1993. Nice. Yeah, we just got back from a nice little drive through the countryside. Saw a beautiful church, didn't we, Leslie? Little country church. It's just kind of unusual for out in the countryside to see a church that, you know, kind of fancy, you know. I don't know if fancy is a word, but it's really a nice, that doesn't look like a country church, does it, Leslie? It's like something you see in town more. Beautiful. We're going to walk down to this little creek that we drove across to get out of here. This is the, going out toward the east. We came in last night toward the west, so you can go either way to get out back up to Prairie Home. But I can't remember, I looked it up on the map, the name of this creek, but I can't remember what it was, but we'll post it up on the screen. Not very big. Pretty little stream though. Let's go down here and get cooled off. A little warm today. What you think? Whew, the water's cold. Whew.
I think he goes a lot better than he did. He's not panting yet. You stay close down, but lets you run loose.
I don't want to go in there, Mama. Hey, you look all wet. Why you look all wet for? Huh? You look all wet.
This water's not gonna kill you. Chewy.
I want to go up a little higher.
Sure. Some may not like it, but oh well.
There's a little frog jumped in right there somewhere.
Oh man. Joey knows how to swim at least.
What'd y'all think of this stream?
Nice.
Nice little stream in it.
I think Joey appreciated it too.
We're a rocky bottom. Running water runs clean in it, doesn't it?
So crawfish in there and everything. So a regular fish.
Yeah, pretty neat. Not very far from our
Campsite.
campsite either. Right up there. Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay, I'm going to do the lasagna. Most of the time Leslie does the lasagna, but she doesn't really want to be on camera, so we're not going to make her be. Now, the very first thing that we do when you make lasagna. Oh, I'm stronger than I think I am. Just put a little bit on the bottom of the marinara. Your favorite, whatever it is. And then I'm bringing over my meat.
What are we using for meat tonight?
Well, we're going to use hamburger and pepperoni, since when I fixed breakfast, I had to use the rest of the sausage that we had. So,
And you could eat, like I said, you could use whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Wade doesn't really care for the pepperoni, but we went to the store. Pepperoni was all I could find. I couldn't even find any leek sausage I could break up and fry. Alright, now Wade, come look at this. I put a nice little layer in the bottom of that, because the very first layer is going to be the noodles.
And the only bad thing is with being like that, we got to break some of them up, don't we?
Yep, we
Being a
do.
round Dutch oven. Now this recipe, if you're wanting to make it at home in the oven with a regular square or quote rectangle baking dish, it would be a 9 by 13. But this works good this way.
Yeah, it does.
And what, probably at least 10, 12 years ago when we started making this.
Yeah, these are not
Lasagna.
special lasagna noodles.
And for some reason,
We just put them in there.
we missed the taste of the Dutch oven
Oh yeah, we make
if we
it
do
this
it at
way all
home
the
in the
time.
regular
We
pan.
cook it in a Dutch oven all the time.
And you can use your Dutch oven even if it's you want to cook inside because one, maybe it's too hot or maybe it's too cold, it's raining, but you want to do it at home. You can use your Dutch oven at home. Even this camp style with the legs on the bottom, it's a little bit harder to get in and out
Yeah,
and wrap.
just have to put the legs in between the tines of your stove.
But you certainly can use. Now a lot of times when you're normal baking or even this lasagna, sometimes you kind of have to watch the top, but a lot of times you not necessarily have to have the lid on. If you're going to use it for like baking, breads or biscuits or cakes or something, you would not probably put the lid on in your traditional oven.
Okay, now I'm putting on a layer of... How many layers are we going to have, hon?
Let's see how many layers we don't really like when you make this. 3 layers, okay. That just says 3.
Split this up. I think I can go a little bit more on both sides. Okay. Now, you put cottage cheese next, don't you, dear?
Did you get through the sauce?
No, I haven't.
Meat,
Yeah?
sauce, and cottage cheese.
Okay. Oop. Now, I don't see anything wrong with making your lasagna with spaghetti sauce. Doesn't hurt my feelings any. If you want to, go to all the trouble.
Making your own.
Making your own, feel free.
Or using, whatever flavored sauce like that, spaghetti, pasta, but pasta sauce usually works the best, of course.
Alright, now I'm using plain old cottage cheese. No particular brand, although I don't want the plastic piece in there.
And since it's all going to be used and it's all going in the same pot, you don't have to worry about dirtying too many different utensils, do we?
No,
you never
don't dirty too many utensils. I don't want to spend my time out camping doing a bunch of dirty dishes.
Now, if you don't like cottage cheese, you can
use ricotta.
Ricotta or combination. We've done that before too.
A bit more over here. Okay.
I know some people are hardcore one way or another, but...
Alright, then I forgot the shredded cheese. Yes, I'm putting yellow cheese in here.
Well, this is a Kobe Jack in it,
Yes,
white
it
and
is.
yellow. Which is a lot of times what we use for our flavored.
Yeah.
I mean, for our shredded
whatever your
cheese.
flavor is.
Yeah, you can do whatever. Mozzarella. We got Parmesan, whatever kind of.
Just gonna lay this in here.
Well, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it'll be alright. It's gonna melt.
Nice and cheesy. Heck yeah. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite dishes of all time.
I have to say I'm pretty partial
And even,
to it too.
especially if you're talking about Italian, because it just got a nice amount of the tomato, which is not overdone. Sometimes spaghetti needs something else because of the tomatoes, too much tomato for me. But when you put all this in there with the cheese and all that, it kind of goes real good and makes it creamy and kind of takes over the overpowering acidity of the tomato. So now what, we repeat
Yep,
everything
repeat.
in another layer. We do it 2 more times.
Right.
And then we'll probably just be right back here in a bit when she gets done with that. And this day you're doing one different thing, ain't you?
Yeah, I am.
And that
I'm
is?
putting pepperoni. Since I had to use our sausage for the thing we cooked last week, which was the breakfast pizza, I had to have some other kind of sausage. And unfortunately, this particular dollar store, you know, they've been having a lot of food items in Dollar General, which they didn't used to. Well, they didn't have any breakfast sausage or Italian sausage or any of that stuff. So we're putting pepperoni, which I know you don't particularly care for, but
That's okay. It'll be fine.
it'll be all right. Gotta have another piece of sausage type product. Ooh, we don't want that in there. And it's shelf stable. That's a good thing about getting jarred marinara. As long as your jar ain't open.
Yeah, and your pepperoni too, right?
Right.
Yeah. One last thing is you gotta take up cooler space for.
That's right. Like I said though, if you want to fix your own pasta sauce, feel free. Fact is, if you've got a good pasta sauce recipe, why don't you share it?
Yeah, maybe we'll have to try it out on something.
Yeah.
'Cause we've got a recipe that would work good. It normally takes 1 jar of pasta sauce. That if we had that same amount in homemade sauce, we might try.
What is that?
That would be the baked spaghetti.
Oh yeah, we like that. Oh, that's an extra big piece of sausage. Doing a whole layer of this. Okay, then a little bit more marinara.
Have to reserve some of the top for you.
Yep. A little bit for the top because we also add water to this
Yeah.
to help cook them noodles.
Yeah, with these raw noodles, and these are not, like you said earlier, these are not the special kind that they say
No, that are
pre
pre-cooked.
whatever.
Or that are I use just plain old whatever brand you
So
like.
that way, if you use the other kind, you may not need the extra water, but
Now, do we use all this in
Yes.
this one? Okay.
use all that one thing of cottage cheese.
Because then you top it with the white cheese, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Got what, one more layer of noodles,
Yep.
a little more meat, last layer of cheese.
Now we're gonna save this because I think we're gonna need it
For what?
for leftovers.
Oh yeah, well you're probably right, because it says using a 12-inch Dutch oven, of course. And we thought about using a 10-inch because maybe we could eat it all. But the problem with that is we would end up with 1 extra noodles, 2 extra marinara, 3 extra cottage cheese, and a silly. So we're gonna make it all.
And we know we'll eat it all.
Or we can take it home. We'll put it in a container. And you can put this stuff in a Ziploc bag when you're done too, if you
Yeah.
want to.
We
Put it
have
back
the
in the
cooler
cooler.
space
Yeah.
though, so
You don't have to have a container. Nice thing about a Ziploc bag is it doesn't take up any extra much space than, you know, the food itself, rather than a container that you may not have the right size for. It's like I say, it may be that premium tight
Well, if
corners
you're
in the
out-
cooler.
further away from home than what we are, you need a little more space in your cooler.
Well, if you're off somewhere away from civilization and you want to stay that way for
Leslie,
A
I'm
number
gonna
of
need your
days.
help, honey.
What do you need?
We need what? Half a jar of
how much water we
Water?
use, Leslie? About a third of a jar?
Yeah.
Put a third of water in that.
Shake it up.
Yep. Get all the goodie out of there we can.
And it don't have to be perfect on top. There's water right over there. Because you need that water to help cook your pasta noodles.
And moisturize it.
Yeah. That's where the moisture has to come from
I'll
to get them
finish
all
up from
cooked.
there.
Thank you, Leslie.
We've had a great weekend out here. We are glad Leslie got to come along.
Now, our original plan, of course, was to show you all how to cook this over an open fire.
Yes.
And since it's mid-May and it's already 90-some degrees all week, and we're still warm enough, probably pushing upper 80s today, not much breeze, we didn't want to build a fire.
No.
So
We wouldn't enjoy it if we
would-
did
yeah.
build it.
So that's one nice thing that is really neat, that when we show you about the charcoal cooking, is one, you don't have to take the time to build a fire and get coals. Two, if it's hot like this and you don't want to stand around the fire sweating, you can use your charcoal and works real good and not have to hang around the fire and eat smoke and be that sweaty.
If you've got one of them stovetop ovens that burn things, this won't get cooked very well in there. Now, I put Parmesan on top, but guess what I've got for afterwards?
What's that?
Some more Parmesan.
Grated.
So we're ready.
Okay.
Whenever you are, dear.
Okay.
Put the lid on this. Oh. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty heavy with all that lasagna filled in there. Come in, we'll get one last look at it before we cook, hon.
Okay. Look, it does. Smells good too. And then you can cook
Alrighty,
it.
okay, now we're doing basically a traditional bake. So, we're doing, we're using a 12-inch Dutch oven. We're going to do 30 pieces of charcoal. Our standard number that we use for about 350-degree oven.
Boy, am I glad we did not start a fire. I can feel them briquettes from over here.
I second that.
Now, we're going to do traditional baking method with our batter 10 on the bottom, 20 on top. And always while we're baking, what do? We
Never put one in the middle.
put it in the middle.
And that's because no matter how much you turn it, you can't get over the hot spot.
Fairly even as you can.
Believe it or not, he's counting them too.
And now we do nice full ring on top.
Now, honey, do you think you're going to have to replenish the coals on this?
My guess is when we went traditionally in the past, yes, we will do a replenish.
In about 30 minutes?
About 30 minutes. That'll keep our heat going for a full hour. Because after about 45 minutes, you start losing quite a bit of heat, even with charcoal briquettes. Okay, nice even layer. Now, since we're having a 30, instead of a 30-minute bake time like a lot of our stuff we do, we got almost a full hour. We're still baking, so we want to keep an even heat, so we're going to go about 15 minutes before we rotate. So, we'll see you in 15 minutes.
Well, honey, I see you got another pile of starting fluid. What are we getting ready
I got to
to do?
get a lighter first, though. Be right back.
Ooh, I smell it. It smells good.
Joey.
Yeah, it's been, let's see, it's been 30 minutes.
There he goes. We know it's going to need more
Time
time.
zones work good.
We know it's going to need more cook
Here, hon,
time.
can you take that lighter for me real quick? And we're going to go ahead and rotate this. Be a second rotate. And then after about 10 more minutes, it'll be about 40 minutes. That's when you usually start using heat. So then we started with 30 charcoal, and we added 15 more. And this flue which is about half what you normally do. That should be plenty to keep the heat consistently at about that 350 to maybe even 375 range. So it'll get good and done. Because with them noodles being in there raw, it's going to take a good hour to get completely done. So we'll let these go a good bit, and then we'll be back and get them added to here in about 15 minutes.
I smell it.
It's been an hour.
It smells good.
Ought to be done.
Mom, people can think you're crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're done. Fork tender. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot that. Take that back off again. Alrighty, let's eat. We're all packed up, hooked up. I'm in the truck. I'm driving home. We hope you enjoyed this video. We enjoyed it out here. So if you like this video, please like with a thumbs up. Share us on YouTube, or share us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already.
Yeah. So we hope you have another good week. Like I say, we're glad we'll pack up and get going before too long, because I think by another hour or two there's a good chance for some rain. So we're gonna get going and get heading towards home while the weather's good, aren't we? So all right, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.